Hello, this is Christian. In this video, we're going to build this flight scheduler map table here. And so the first thing I want to look at is, well, Bootstrap. But before we go there, we're going to try to build this table here, okay? It doesn't have to be exactly like this, but I will try to make it look as close as possible. So here are the assignment. I ask you to download this text. We'll do that later. This can be a little bit long, so I'll probably break this video or this section into a couple of videos to make it a little bit shorter. So the first thing is we want to go into this Bootstrap and get that table. All right, so let's open that folder here. So here in Bootstrap, and you have a lot of options here to pick what kind of tables you want. And for me, I will probably just use something kind of like in the example. So this will be the one that I wanted, right? It looks just like that. It doesn't have the border here, I think, but something like that. But I'm gonna change a little bit. Yeah, well, not change, but I do like the, not this one, I like the kind of like grayish or dark gray header here. So I might do something like that. And you just basically add CSS to it. And I don't, well, the stripe looks good, but the stripe rows, if you do hover, then it doesn't look good. But if you don't hover, then that's fine too. I like the one that is hovered, like down here somewhere. Where is it at? This one. I like this one here. So I'm going to use this for my table. All right. So um, before we come back here, let's go to the code and see what we have first. So in the React folder, the src inside the App.js. This is the one that we have. We're going to modify this here. We're going to add a table right in here. Probably not inside the head section. It doesn't make sense. It will be right in between here in the footer. So first, let's run this file so we can see what's going on. React, and then I changed it to Flight App. Now it was called my React app before, but I just figured that I should change it to match the project here. So, and then just npm start, and that should launch the app. While that's being launched, I also want to go into the public. Well, here we are already. Um, it's launching. Hopefully there are no errors. And so here we go. This is the one we have as our app. Okay, so let's go back to the code. And I want to look into inside the public folder. And remember we had an index2 that comes with some default. I'm going to close this now. The terminal has some default settings already, right? So what you want to do is you need the container. So I'm going to need that. And this heading, this is the header row. This is like the doc row. If you remember the output, let me just show you what it looks like. So the load, I don't know if it did or not. Did it run? Okay, so yeah, this is the call to action. This is the heading part, header, the call to action, and these are the cards. So I don't want that. I mean, I do like the round box here, which is kind of pretty close to what we have. So, but at least we need a container to contain the content. Okay, and then we'll just make some changes here. So I don't need this anymore. I'm gonna escape out of this full screen and go back to the other screen. Okay, so we can close this now, and this is our app. Let's go back to the code, and so again, I need the container. I need to copy that over. I'm going to add it to this section here. I'm not going to put inside the head, all right? Because it doesn't make sense to put inside the head. And actually, I might have to remove the header. So I don't need this. I don't need this header here. Okay, I just leave that, and then we'll need this main div, which as is. So I got this section here and a container. I don't need that. I don't need the call to action. So the content row will make sense. These are different cards, so I don't need each of those. We might have to modify like the margin, things like that, but I think I need the row and just those two div tags. The rest can be tossed, I guess. I need to copy those and put it right in here, and just make sure you close both of those. Okay, and just format the document. Getting close. And then this is where we put our data in here, right? And so the columns, this is the column medium size good, but only 4. That's too small. So we want to make it probably the maximum, which is 12. Okay, so Bootstrap uses a 12 column grid in the div in the style. So 4 is about halfway there. We're going to change that to the maximum, which is 12. And then here is the margin for the bottom. MB means margin bottom. Top would be MGT and MT and so on, right? Left and then right and so on. Okay. If you want to put all around, just put M and dash the number. I think the maximum you can go is like 5, I'm sure 10. You can try it, but that's what it means. So it was before just MB bottom 5. Okay, so that's the border. If I save it now, go back to my browser, and you see that now has been removed, the dark background, and inside it is the body of the content. We're going to put you some data in here. I know the photo shifts up to the top, but you can play with it to make sure it sticks to the bottom. I'm not going to worry too much about that for now, but we do want to put a table right in here. Okay, so to see how this looks, let's go to the Bootstrap and copy this table. I want to use this table here, okay? So I'll copy everything here with the default data here as well. We will modify later. Let's copy that, go to the code here and paste it right in here. And again, just right click and format. So let's see what this looks like. Save and go back to the table again. And here we go. Looks pretty good, right? So I like to hover. This is kind of aligned, I think, because we do a column spans of 2 columns. That's why. But if you look back at this original table here, so it has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 columns. Okay, that's a lot of columns here. 9 columns. We have a border around it, kind of a little bit round, I guess. You can make that. It's a gray color. The big title goes on the top left. The active goes in here, and the inside the shaded region here. So I'm assuming the table starts like right here, right? And there's no top border either. So let's see. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 columns. So let's go and modify our table and see what it looks like. So we have 9 columns. I put here 1, 2, 3, 4 already. Just press down the Shift Alt 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 down here as well. We'll just use one of these and we'll duplicate. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I don't need the rest because I'll just duplicate those in a minute here. Once I have everything what I wanted, then that's fine. Now, TH here, as you can see, it gives the bold number on the left. If you don't want that bold number on the left, like the example, then you just remove that and change it back to a TD, which is, I'm going to probably do that. But I want to see what it looks like first, okay? So let's save that, and let's go back and see what it looks like. So here we go. We have 9 columns. So far, so good. And then, see, this is bold. I don't want that, right? I want just the same color, same weight. Then we'll do that. And we need to add the title on the top, and then another almost like a subtitle for this table here. But let's see how that's done. And let's go back to the code here. So my TH will be just TD. Right, and then I'm going to duplicate this. Select that, and then press the Alt Shift, and then up or down arrow, doesn't matter, a couple times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I just use 5 rows now. Okay, you can change these numbers if you want. It doesn't matter. We just put some fake data here for now so we can see what it looks like. Okay, so at the top here, container, this is the table, starts right here. So above the table, I probably want to wrap this. If you go back to the Bootstrap, back here, okay, I want to use a responsive table. If you scroll down to the bottom, or on the right side, you see here the responsive table here. If you go here, click on it, it gives you a responsive tag. So this is our table, and above that is a responsive table. So I want to use that. So I want to copy this and put above my table, all right? It just makes my table look nicer. So put it right here, and then just make sure you close on the very bottom here as well, right at the bottom of the body of the table here. Anywhere here is fine. We'll format it. Okay, so go to format. Okay, I'm going to close this on the left side now, give some room. Now we need to change these attributes because this is not CSS or HTML. Right? This is again JSX, so this won't work until we change it to name, class name. So again, shortcut, highlight this, okay, and you can copy it and go to the edit and replace. Replace that with one that says class name. So change all of them, one take, okay. So that's good. And anything else like so yeah, so for that's fine for now. All right, so right inside here between the table responsive div here, I'm gonna put the title. So I'll use an H1, and then maybe like the title, we call it the flight schedule, right? So flight schedule, or schedule, I don't know, flight schedule, yeah. And also right inside here between the table, well, it's not gonna be inside a table, it's right above it as well. So you might have to put another another div tag here. Let's see, because that is where it says the active one. So I'm gonna move this above. Okay, so you can copy this or shortcut again, just Alt and then move up and down, the up arrow key, and you can move this up and down. Shortcut. So right in here is probably what that is gonna be. So just put a paragraph tag in here. I would just say active flight. What do you call it? Schedule. Um, I just call it that. Okay, you can call it anything you want. Doesn't really matter, I suppose. But that is where that's supposed to be situated. This formatted document. Let's save it. Go back to the browser and see what that looks like. Okay, and so they both center here. All right, I'm gonna do something a little bit. Well, I want to show side by side so I can see it, and I'm gonna do that by doing something like this. So I'm gonna go and put over here on the right side, and for now, then so I can do my code, I can see it. And if you just like do it, grab it. So I did it, right? You just grab it and you toss it really fast. And then, for example, you grab it and you toss it really fast to the top or to the edge here. It's going to snap it to the thing, and then you can click and choose one of these. And they'll perfectly center on the thing here. So pretty cool. So now, so the left, I want this to be left justified. That means my text needs to be left justified. By default, it's center. So I'm going to say class name. I want the text to be left. Okay, if I save that, hopefully that's left. Okay, that's good. And same thing with this one down here, the paragraph tag. So class name to be text left. And there you go. That's pretty good. All right. I think that looks kind of good by the border, right? So the responsive table, responsive here. I want to have a border, maybe with a, if you just put border here like that, it will give you a border. Okay, see the little border there? But you need some padding in between, right? So I say the border, I put padding, just P. And if you're going to padding all around, just put a dash, the number of padding, the size. So let's say 4. It gives you a nice padding around it like that. I know it's kind of small here because it's scroll to the right, but that what it looks like. So that's all around, and I want the background color to be a different color instead of white. So BG dash active is a kind of like I didn't show anything active. It's just like the gray. Let me put here light color. Okay, so you can see a little bit kind of grayish, a light gray, and when I hover that, I still shows pretty good, right? So I think that's pretty good. Um, and I want to maybe bold that one. So you just go up here again, text select, just say font weight. And we'll just give it a, what number will be called? I think it's called bold. Oh, that's the wrong one. Not that header. That's pretty bold already. The paragraph tag. This one. That one. There you go. So that looks good. All right, and then now my header here, I don't want this line here. I want this to be kind of like shaded. I want to change a little bit here. So in the t head here, I want to say class name. I want that to be a table. I don't want border, so say border less. Okay, borderless maybe. Yeah, no border. And then we'll change the background color. So that'll be again. You can use the color, or you can say table dash maybe secondary. Secondary is kind of like a dark gray, kind of the same as that one, a little bit light. Yeah, that's what I think it's good. Dark gray. And a few different color, Bootstrap has about 5 or 6 different color. Um, Standard color you can use, like primary, for example, would be a blue color. Okay, and then this is for a table, so as you can see, it's not as blue as if it's for text. For example, if I put here color, if I put like a BG, primary, you see that it's really, really blue, okay? Because it's text, right? So in a table is different. But instead of saying primary, I just use a secondary. Looks pretty good here. Okay, so when I click on it, it hovers that nicely, and I think that's all I want. Okay, so again, if you want to play with it, go to Bootstrap. There's a lot of information here. Let me maximize this again. Play with the table here. Okay, so the font is under the utilities, I think. Go down here, you have the border. Oh yeah, I probably want the border to be kind of like rounded, like the radius here. So you just put the rounded all around. So you should put rounded. If you just do a certain type of bottom, just do that. Circle will give you the circular here, and so on. Okay, so let's add that to our code, and I think we'll be done with this one here. So the div response. Let me just go and maximize this now. The div tab here. So I want this to be rounded. Okay, I think that is good for this one. Let me go back and review for the last time. So it looks pretty good, pretty close to what we have. We have, the rounder here, and we'll just have to add these data later on. But so far so good. So in the next video, we're going to go and populate this with the actual data in the JSON text.